Alright everyone, it's time for Occult Literature, video number 248. This is 103 pages long, so it's intermediate in length. A treatise on animal magnetism. Very interesting work overall. Quite old. Link in the description to my edition of this work on Amazon. Second and third links are to my books blogs. You can find other works. I'm adding... The next work will be on clairvoyance. It's from DeLawrence, actually, so it's more notable. I've sort of gotten into the clairvoyance, psychic arts, that aspect of the occult a little more, and part of that is presenting works like this. This is mostly presented here as a work of medical history and caution, and a cautionary work, and I say that because of this. This work takes off of Mesmer directly, magnetic bathing and so forth, and has various anecdotes about healing thereof. The use of magnetism, clairvoyance, in the psychic arts basically for healing purposes. Some of the claims here are absolutely false. I want to make that entirely clear. And a disclaimer, of course, I'm not saying, well, if you go to a psychic, you can find out where your tumor is and have it removed by magic. That's not the way that the genuine occult actually works. This is cautionary, though. The occultist walks a fine path. Here's the problem. A little bit of a rant here in the context of this book. Between claims that are miraculous and otherworldly and way out there that lure you in, and the claims of the other side that all of the former are completely false. You're walking a tightrope if you're practicing what you could consider authentic magic between these two. Not everything written in a grimoire is true. Some of it's symbolic. Some of it's spurious. Some of it's the result of humans misunderstanding cause and effect, quack medicine and things of that nature, or hallucinations. It is there. Likewise, there are certain phenomena that genuinely, described by even magical texts in time, ended up being adopted by the mainstream. Some of what mainstream science considers true today was initially considered voodoo, hoodoo nonsense. The existence of the kangaroo, when it was first reported, was considered extremely amusing and result of people dipping into the grog supply. Well, they exist. The coelacanth was a legendary sea monster. Cryptozoology is littered with this sort of thing. And so this work provides a series of medical anecdotes. As far as medical history, you don't even have to be an occultist. If you want weird medical history, to hear some of these strange tales of people within the context of medicine especially, using clairvoyance and magnetic bathing in order to solve their problems. It's a very interesting work. It comes from the 1840s, so it's quite old. It's not like the sort of quack medicine you get 100 years later, or even like 50 years later. Vast difference. Extremely different. This is from an era when a lot of people still were using grimoires for their healing purposes. Keep that in mind. Powwows, I think, was from the 1820s, if I remember correctly. That was a very popular work for its era. There are plenty of people alive still using it at this point as well, then today. Very, very interesting stuff. Basically like, this person had a tumor. This person was almost on, they were on their deathbed. And then we administered magnetic healing, we mesmerized them, and they got better. In some cases, by the way, and you can't necessarily tell which case is which, in some cases you're seeing the placebo effect. Somebody believes that they're on death's doorstep. Somebody has worked themselves up in their mind into developing symptoms, especially stress. Stress can cause a variety of symptoms. If you can alleviate that by convincing someone that you have the power to make them better, you can actually make them better. It's very real. It's totally accepted within medicine. You give somebody a sugar pill instead of something real, unless they have a virus or cancer, 9 times out of 10 it'll probably work. If it weren't, I think to paraphrase here, I can't remember the exact quote. I believe it was in biological anthropology, if I remember correctly. The professor said something along the lines of, if it weren't for viruses and cancer, chewing on a root would be just as good as going to a modern hospital. Probably. For a lot of, or poisoning, I suppose, would be I've got arsenic poisoning. Let me go eat some boiled carrots because this old book told me so. Other than that, yeah, absolutely. It works within a medical context. So you're seeing authentic medicine. It's just that the explanation is a little bit off. The idea of magnetizing some water and touching someone with a copper wand, probably not actually what's healing them, but the ritual itself can. We see this in primitive cultures around the world as well. This sort of mental aspect to medicine is just as potent as real medicine. Real, of course, definitely very much in quotations. So again, link in the description of my edition of this work on Amazon. Highly recommended for anyone interested in medical history or quack medicine, or hypnosis, because mesmerism is the lead up to it. Second and third links to my books, blogs. I am adding new titles. I'm working on number 250 as we speak, so that's going to be a big milestone. It'll be an Alice Bailey work. I won't tell you which one. That's about all. Peace out.